Hello everybody, welcome back, and today in this video we're going to be monocouching these two little walls. So it's already been prepared and I'm going to show you how to get on the top coat and how to rub it up and everything after a quick word from our sponsor.
Get your business found with Biz Plus. We do everything from website and graphic design to marketing services, including search engine optimization, Google and Facebook ads. We're a 5-star rated company featured as excellent on Trustpilot with over 50 happy customers. Click the link below to book in a free call to see if we would be a good fit for you. Biz Plus, putting the plus in your business.
So again, thank you to Biz Plus. If you do need any of their services, there's a link in the description below. Right, on to the monocouching. So firstly, this job was done in the summer of 2020. A few days before I actually recorded this, I came to this property and applied the product that's on the base coat, which is Weber Rend-Aid. Now Rend-Aid is basically just a wall stabilising primer that it comes in powder form. You mix it up and you apply it with a hawk and trowel, and you just apply a real thin coat and then key it, and it'll allow you to apply monocouche over almost anything, to be honest. I've also already applied the PVC beads when we did the Rend-Aid as well. These are 15mm PVC beads, which I think is a minimum for monocouche. And what you see now is just me applying the first pass of 2 passes. So basically the method is you apply the first pass, you then embed a mesh layer, and then you apply the second pass, let it go hard and scrape it off. So that's the plan. This is also the first monocouche job where I've actually used the DeWalt cordless mixer, and for all the other plasterers out there, it does work, it does a great job. One battery more or less lasted all day. So this first layer wants to be probably around probably about 8 to 10 millimeters thick. Bear in mind that the beads are 15 millimeters thick, so this brings you just over halfway to the edge of the bead. Then when you put the second pass on, it brings us beyond the bead, and then we'll use a ruler later to scrape back to the level of the bead, revealing the scratched finish. So this is the Weber pink mesh that we're just embedding in there. This basically reinforces the monocouche and just prevents it from cracking, things like that. And these two little bits of mesh I usually just pop in there because it helps prevent cracking in the corners where you're most likely to get cracking. So on to the second pass. Now this one, you want to make sure it's thick enough that it completely protrudes beyond the edge of the bead. That's the most important thing with Monocouche, is making sure you get it on thick enough. Now you don't have to get it perfect, and you don't want to play around with it too much because we will be using a straight edge to get it all level in a moment. But it's worth remembering that with Monocouche, the more you play with it, the wetter it gets, so it kind of is a little bit tricky sometimes to work with. So if you look just here, you'll see the render actually start to sag. Now that's happening because there's a bit of a hollow spot in that wall, so that's where it's on the thickest. So it's nothing urgent to deal with, but we'll sort that out in a second. So I'm using a serrated edge, straight edge, just to see where I'm on thick enough, where I'm on too thin. It just highlights the bits that need filling out a little more. And also helps relieve a little bit of air if there's any traps beneath the surface. Okay, because we've got that little bit that was sagging over there, I'm going to leave that to just harden a little bit. And in the meantime, we'll get started on the base coat of the second wall. So at this point I decided to remove the problematic section and just get a bit of dry powder in there just to sort of speed up the process, and that seemed to work quite nicely. So now the problem bit has dried enough, we can just use the serrated spatula, and then we get out the nice smooth spatula, the finishing spatula. Now this is just going to flatten off the monocouche and seal it. To make sure it's nice and even. You can fact check me on this, but I think the word monocouche is French for one coat or one layer, which is self-explanatory really. So it's time to start scratching the monocouche. Now, this is 5 hours later. It's a little bit wet still, so firstly we just try the monocouche, just trying to open up the surface. In a few areas it sort of drags a little bit, and it starts to leave a few lines as you're scratching it, so that usually is a good indicator that it's a little too wet. But this is dry in places, so we're just opening it up, letting the air get to it. The tool I'm using right now is called an eye section or eye bar. I think you can get them from Rafina and probably a few other places. It's just an eye shaped, like an eye profile piece of aluminium, I believe, but very straight and an invaluable tool when monocouching. So the point of the eye bar or eye section is just to remove the very top layer of the monocouche. You're basically using the beads as a gauge, to gauge the, like, almost like a screed, a box screed. So I'm just using a margin trowel for the reveals, just to shape those, get them at a 90-degree angle. And now this tool is a scratcher. So I'm using a short tooth scratcher, and basically you just go around in sort of a circular motion, maybe a figure of 8 some people like to use, just to remove the high areas and help to give the final scratch finish to the surface. So around 9 hours later from starting, that is basically that.
for watching the video. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell on so you never miss another video. And also a special thanks to Biz Plus for sponsoring the video. Please click the link in the description to find out more about them.